News when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Denise Pellegrini. OPEC Plus has agreed on another oil production increase, this one for the month of September, according to Bloomberg's Grant Smith.
What Saudi Arabia and OPEC Plus have done with this latest surge of 548,000 barrels a day to take effect in September is to complete the reversal of a cutback of more than 2 million barrels a day that it had made 2 years ago. And it's completed that reversal a year ahead of schedule. And they appear to have done that to signal that they really want to take back market share, to wrest back the sales volumes that they had surrendered to their rivals like US shale drillers, over the past couple of years.
And Smith says we could see more production increases from OPEC Plus later this year as OPEC Plus reviews another about 1.66 million barrels of halted production. Former Special Counsel Jack Smith now under investigation himself. The Office of the Special Counsel launching an investigation into Smith for possible violation of the Hatch Act governing political activity. Smith was appointed to investigate President Trump's alleged efforts to subvert the 2020 election and alleged mishandling of classified documents. Former federal prosecutor Sarah Krisoff calls the investigation into Smith highly unusual.
It's actually very rare for federal prosecutors to themselves be investigated. Those, the vast majority of the time, don't lead to anything or unfounded or just lead to the dismissal of that employee.
Former federal prosecutor Sarah Krisoff there. The investigation into Smith requested by Arkansas Senator Tom Cotton. Both cases investigated by Smith resulted in criminal charges against President Trump but were closed after the president was reelected. Investors looking ahead to headlines indicating consumer willingness to spend. McDonald's, Walt Disney, Airbnb, all reporting quarterly results. Stocks tumbled Friday on tariff worries and on a weaker than expected jobs report. Stephanie Roth, chief economist at Wolfe Research, says even though the job market appears to be weakening, the Fed should actually be worried about rising prices. And Roth there on the Bloomberg Surveillance podcast.
We still have to keep an eye on this inflation because not only is the labor market challenging that side of the mandate, which is now perhaps still close to where their target is, inflation might get pretty far away from their target. So they're going to, and this is what Powell told us, is they're going to look at each part of the mandate and see how far they are from the respective targets, and that's going to be the deciding factor for policy.
President Trump's new tariffs go into effect August 7. Average tariffs on U.S. imports, 15%. Final level on tariffs on goods from China still up in the air. Swiss stock investors bracing for tomorrow's market reopening, especially after President Trump slapped a punitive 39% export tariff on that country. President Trump lashing out at the weaker than expected jobs data we got Friday, and he fired the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics, claiming she fudged the numbers. William Beach, a former BLS commissioner appointed by President Trump during his first term, says this will hurt government data credibility.
People will say, well, I just don't trust that agency anymore. I don't think that the numbers are honest. And that hurts the economy because, like a bridge or a road, statistics are infrastructure. And if you harm infrastructure, your society and your economy works less well.
Meantime, President Trump has a chance to pick a new Fed governor. Adriana Kugler says she's resigning. President Trump could name someone to the board who he hopes to eventually have replace Fed Chair Jay Powell. Operating profit falling at Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway in the latest quarter, down by 3.8% from a year ago. Berkshire also writing down the value of its stake in Kraft Heinz by $3.8 billion. Meantime, as for Buffett's cash pile, that's very closely watched, it dropped 1% in the 3 months through June to $344 billion. This is the first time in 3 years that the war chest has shrunk. And that's News When You Want It with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Denise Pellegrini. This is Bloomberg.